Clarity on Fire, a podcast for people who know what they don't want out of their life and career, but aren't sure what they'd rather be doing.
In a world where it's easy to exist, but hard to feel alive, we, Kristen
and Rachel,
2 certified life and career coaches, are here to help you cut through the information overload, get unstuck, and focus not just on how you can have a career you're passionate about, but how to create a whole life that feels fulfilling.
So join us here, where we serve up inspiration and down-to-earth wisdom in a way that only 2 best friends can.
We want you to experience the relief of knowing that, yes, you're allowed to want more out of your life and career.
And no, you don't have to wander through the dark anymore. Our job is to light the fire that shows you the way. Let's go.
So it's been a while since we had Rachel.
It's been 2.5 months. Yeah. Almost 3 months.
So it's time. It's time to start the new year out with a nice rant.
Lest you think this is the first time I've ranted in 2.5 months. This is just the first time I've ranted.
With a microphone.
I don't even think that's true. It's just the first time I've done this particular segment of this episode or of this podcast for a while. But no, I've been ranting off mic every day.
Well, that's kind of your whole...
That's my whole thing. It's my brand.
Well, okay, before we hear your rant, I hope people are not getting tired of hearing about the PPVE coming back next week, but here we are.
I don't think they should be that tired yet. It's only the 3rd time we've mentioned it.
Well, we have some very active, loyal listeners who listen to every single episode.
Fast forward through this. I don't care.
Or they can join us for the PPVE.
Yeah, they can do that too if they want to. Yeah, so reminder, it's our 6-week online course. It's the same process we take all of our one-on-one coaching clients through to help them, figure out what the hell are you doing with your life? What do you want? How do you get out of your own way? Let's confront some fears. Let's establish your values. And it's the last time we're ever doing it. And we're capping it at 50 people. So
last 50.
There's a lot of kind of like bars to jump over or hoops to jump through, whatever you want to call it. Like there's only going to be 50 spots. We're not doing it ever again. There's at least 2.
So enrollment is going to start next Tuesday, which is the 21st, and go through the following Wednesday, the 29th. And then we'll actually get the course started on Thursday, the 30th. So by the end of the month, you can start working through this content and start figuring out what do you want to do with your life, with your career, where are you going this year? We're going to answer those big questions in 6 weeks.
You guys should know this already, but I just want to remind you that our whole coaching philosophy is about getting to the root of what's really blocking you, not hanging out on the surface level. Or like...
I mean, if you're here listening to our podcast, I feel like you've probably gotten that, but it's nice to reiterate.
But that's the thing, is that a lot of people don't realize that they're hoping for like a surface level solution, or what I would call, if you're looking at a tree, a branch level solution. That's what a lot of people are offering you too. You go to like a career counselor, a lot of them are just going to tell you, well, let's edit your resume and what are you good at? And let's discover your strengths. And then I'll hold you accountable for applying for some jobs. Meanwhile, you're like, I don't know who I am and I feel very unfulfilled and I don't...
What do I even want in life? Am I on the wrong path?
What is the meaning of my life?
Why do I keep getting in my own way? Why can't I keep making progress? Like, what is happening on the inside here?
I mean, you can stand around like Rafiki shaking that branch all you want. But like, not much is going to happen, okay? Until you get to the root of what's really going on. And to use another Lion King reference, remember who you are.
There's never too many Lion King references.
So that's our style, is that we can go through any branch. And look, Kristen and I approach it through the career branch, but we, that's only a mere starting point. The goal is to get to the place where we're examining what's happening at the root level. What are you believing that's not serving you? Like, what's getting in the way of you even knowing who you are? Maybe you feel incredibly emotionally blocked or constipated. More on that on Friday. There's so many reasons why you might be feeling unfulfilled or not clear about who you are and what your direction is. And unless we go there and do that, it doesn't matter how many branch level modifications or little tree trimmings you try to do. You can't gloss over a root level problem.
No. And we'll take you from the branch down into the trunk, into the root. And then we've even got things to take you back out on the branch once you're ready for that. Once you've like made sure the roots are really solid. Now we have, I don't even think we ever talk about this, but we have this whole thing called the Dream Job Bundle, which was this bonus we added on a couple of years ago. That's like everything you need once you've figured out where you're going and what you want to then go get your dream job. But
yeah, I mean,
that's
in
like
a
at the
conscious
end.
way.
Yeah, that's at the end. That's like once you figured out all the deeper direction-oriented, who am I type things. Now we can talk about things like, how do you get the job? But we're not starting there.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, Kristen and I still get emails from people, and they'll, well-meaning people, but they'll just be like, well, I thought I liked my job, but I don't, and I don't understand why, because technically it aligns with the things I said I wanted or value. Like, why am I stuck? What gives? And I'm like, that's because you got some root level problems. Mm-hmm. It's because maybe you're not capable of feeling fulfilled, period. Feeling fulfilled is a skill. It is not something that just gets delivered to you. It is an ability you have to cultivate. And in order to cultivate it, you got to do some serious raking of some serious shit. Mm-hmm. And so if you want help raking that shit, that's what coaches do. At least that's what good coaches do. And Kristen and I happen to be two of those.
Yeah, we sure are.
So,
not to toot our own horn, but...
Toot, motherfucker. I've been cursing like a sailor today. Yeah. I think I've just reached my limit today, and so it's coming out as profanity, and I don't apologize for it. So if you want to get in on this, it's a great thing to do either just instead of one-on-one coaching, if that's just not feasible or affordable to you, or if you maybe want to do coaching, but you want to maybe try this out first, then you don't usually need quite as much coaching afterward because you've already done a lot of this foundation setting work.
Plus, we give our PPVE grads a bit of a discount on coaching, so you get an incentive that way too.
Yeah, definitely. So I would give it a whirl if, you're one of the 50 people out there who wants the spot. I would take it.
Yeah. It's opening up on Tuesday, so make sure that you're coming back to the podcast on Tuesday. We're going to give a lot more info about it.
Yeah, we'll get into more
if you're not on our email list, do that to make sure that you get emailed about this.
Yeah, go take the passion profile quiz, and then that'll get you on our email list. You got to opt in once you get the email.
Yep.
But you should be able to figure that out. You're like a person living in 2020.
We have smart people in our community.
I mean, yeah, mostly. I'm sure that there are a few dummies, but you know what? They won't be able to hang for long.
I don't want to call our people dumb. I don't think we're dumb.
I'm just saying. I'm saying it's a statistical improbability that everyone who ever listens to this podcast.
But we're not asking for genius level here. We're asking for taking a quiz and clicking a link. And then you can get our emails. That's all it takes. Easy.
Most people I work with are really smart.
Yeah, we've got.
And I don't even care about you being smart. I care about you being emotionally intelligent. Like, I don't.
And open-minded.
Yeah.
And those are way more important. Anyway, do you want to give us anything about your rant, or you just want to get into it?
I mean, they already read the title, so all they really need to know is that this is about what to do when you're fretting and obsessing over making the right decision and you're really afraid you're going to make the wrong one.
All right, well, let's hear it.
As someone who is deeply prone to anxiety, as well as someone who's coached a number of highly anxious people, I think I speak with some degree of credibility when I say that one of the worst ways to exacerbate your anxiety is fixating on finding the right, and I say that in quotes, right answer. A lot of us believe that there exists in any given moment, in any given decision, a correct, again in quotes, course of action. This happens on a minute level, like not trusting ourselves to say the right thing in a conversation, and on a grand scale, like obsessing over which career transition is the correct one. It's like the right choice is the first in a series of dominoes that ends in our happiness and fulfillment. And if we choose the wrong domino, that's it. We're effed. Our one chance at happiness and a meaningful life has been shot. And we've probably messed up someone else's life in the process. Probably whole scores of people. So, no wonder we get stuck. No wonder we get paralyzed by choices. No wonder we want to run away or drown ourselves in Netflix. If every decision is that critical, how can we realistically decide anything? But damn, can you feel how rigid that is? How uptight and decidedly not fun this makes you as a person? I mean, I've never cared about being the fun one. I know my strengths and that ain't it, but I'd like to, be able to relax and enjoy my life without constantly worrying that I'm getting it wrong and screwing myself over at every turn. That might be pretty fun. And not only is the one right domino perspective a very narrow, very linear, very rigid way of viewing your choices,
It's also not accurate in terms of how the universe actually works. To that end, I have a new favorite word. I heard it first on an episode of the podcast Armchair Expert. I think it was the one where they interviewed Adam Grant. Anyway, the word is equifinality. In layman's terms, it means there are a multitude of paths that can all lead to the same destination. Sort of like all rivers flow into the ocean, or all roads lead to Rome, or like a GPS. Your GPS could map 4 potential paths, depending on whether you like freeways or scenic routes, tolls or no tolls, and where you want to stop and eat. But if you take a weird left turn, or to decide, you're going to edit your route mid-trip, it's not like the GPS throws its hands up and says, well, you're screwed. You did not pick one of the 4 ideal routes I mapped out for you. Good luck getting to your destination now, sucker. I will now initiate self-destruct mode. All it does every time is recalculate. It doesn't judge you for where you've been. It doesn't care how many turns or detours you've taken. It just proceeds to alter to give you the best new route and the best new route and the best new route until you get where you're going. Equifinality is how the universe works. When I ask my clients, how will you know if you've made the wrong decision? They always say something like, well, it won't work out. I'll fail. I'll feel miserable. As in, the only way they, or any of us, are capable of deciding when something is right or wrong is in hindsight, way after we've made a decision. And the rightness or wrongness is always measured according to the result, like what happened. But judging what happened is a narrow way to define success. Are there decisions that may cost you extra time or money or struggle? Sure. But who's to say that means it's the wrong decision? Who are you to decide ultimately that you weren't in the best place to learn some valuable lesson or meet a pivotal person at exactly the right time? What if failing spectacularly was the setup you needed for crushing it in the future? Which means, as far as I can see, there is no such thing as a wrong decision. There are just decisions and endless ways to alter and pivot and reroute, and no way to mess up the journey to your ultimate destination. When you stop fretting about every little thing you say and do because you believe you can't get it wrong, then you can seriously relax. You can maybe even slow down a bit and find contentment in what's going well now, rather than future tripping about the next thing and the next thing. In other words, equifinality is the best anti-anxiety medicine out there, and I'm prescribing it to all of you. Bottoms up, y'all.
Okay, well, we gave you a whole big spiel at the beginning, so I'm not going to get into it again. Just know, if you want to join us for the PPVE, come back on Tuesday, and we'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, it won't be that hard.
No need to do anything right now.
I mean, you can go, there is a link in the episode description, so if you want to, go check it out and see, is this something I want to do, you're welcome to go do that.
Yeah, read the page about it. We've got an FAQ, and you can always reach out and ask us questions if you want some clarification on something before.
Maybe wait to do that until it's Tuesday, because all of your questions. We'll
probably answer your questions. Yeah. But a lot of it's also answered on that page.
Yeah. And I don't reward people who ask questions that they could have found themselves after reading for 5 minutes.
Read first.
Yeah.
Ask questions after. Yeah. Because they're probably answered. We're pretty thorough in the things we write.
Almost in everything I do, I'm very thorough. Mm-hmm. Including in my rant, which I hope you enjoyed today. Okay, we'll be back on Friday. Yeah, that's right, with another rant-heavy episode. Kristen shouldn't have, but she triggered me in the episode. She was like, do you want to tell people why you wanted to talk about this? And I was like, no. And then I took a beat and I was like, yup. And then I did it. I wasn't intending to.
You?
You triggered me into ranting about something I wasn't intending to rant about, but then I did.
That's easy to do, though. I think I do that all the time.
Maybe. But anyway, the episode is a side chat, and it's about when people ignore, scorn, and gaslight your feelings. Mm-hmm. Well, when they, you and your feelings. And it's, I think, required listening. Because a lot of you are struggling with this. A lot of you are trying to get people to meet your needs who are not capable of doing it. And we need to figure out real quick how to get you to recognize who you can be who you can trust with your feelings and who is not someone you should be trusting with your feelings. So
I don't think you can be a person in the world who hasn't experienced this. So everyone will relate
Yeah, especially you highly sensitive people who just want everyone to love you. Please come back on Friday.
And we'll see you then.